Hey, what's up everybody? HTG Brian back with more Funko Fusion. Next up, we got Jurassic World, the level 5 Main Street Melee Fun Play. That's right, this is the final level for the Jurassic World era, and we're going to be jumping into the Scott Pilgrimage soon. But first, we got to get that 60,000 vinyl grinded because we've got a tube for a silver crown that's actually one of the most grindy ones yet. So we do have quick links down below in the video description, and it should be noted that there are no trophy achievements earned in this, but we'll be back for those soon enough. Hey, but here we are in the Funko Factory Hub world for Jurassic, and we're going to go ahead and check out the character swap real quick, because we've got a new favorite we need to add. For the first time, we're going to see some purple goo. So we need Eddie to go ahead and errati that goo, Eddie? I don't know what we're calling it. But anyways, we got to get Eddie on the list. It should be noted, too, that you can access him without being favorited. So I just wanted to point that out, make sure that before you guys jumped into this, that you actually had Eddie unlocked by beating the story. So a couple quick looks at our collectibles, and we are out of here. All right, we're officially live in the level, smashing, banging, and booming everything in the room. And that's right, we need to collect as much vinyl as possible because we need that tube, which is 60,000. Now, we're going to recommend you use a 5-star character such as Kayla to keep things moving right along. And as soon as you exit the spawn point, we're going to hang a left into this little nook. That's right, the office has the Foxxo body part. Now, again, we're going to smash and bang everything, trying to take as much vinyl with us as possible. Because not only do we need the 60K, as I've already mentioned, but we also have to purchase a few jump pads and some other items along the way. That's right, the mold machine is going to get more use than ever this level. All right, as soon as you advance into the information center, no, what do we call this? The innovation center. We're going to find a bunch of raptors attacking us, so use the environment to go ahead and protect yourself. That's right, protect your neck. You best protect your neck. All right, time to make your way over to the blue mold machine and craft the first jump pad that we need. We actually have to craft 3 or 4 throughout this whole level, so we'll be getting used to that. But all the way to the top of the stairs we go as we make our way to the green Protopart, but we're also putting in some work for a future silver chest. In fact, if you look across the way up on that upper balcony, we've got a lever and the silver chest for the 4-lever puzzle and another lever right below it. So we do have 2 on the side with the staircase, but we have 2 on the opposite side that are going to need some jump pads to get to. Now, before grabbing that green Protopart, taking it back to the spawn and slamming it into the old green mold machine, we do recommend that you take out as many items and grab as much vinyl as possible. All right, here we go. We're going to jump off the top ledge and use the old dash right before we hit the ground to save ourselves from taking damage and, of course, dropping the old Protopart. We're going to slam dunk this bad boy in there, and guess what? That is officially unlocked soda. We have the access to the speed soda now, which is perfect timing because the next task is actually a silver crown that requires us to use the 4-lever chests. Now, this is a little bit difficult. This one is also a little forgiving because they give us a larger timer because there's some pretty big jumps that you have to make. So we already have 1 jump pad set up on the top left side of the area. And we're going to go ahead and grab 1 more of these bounce pads to place it over on the lower right side, basically right in front of where the old battery machine has been wrecked. We're going to use it to get up top on the 2nd level and, of course, smash everything in sight, grab as much vinyl as possible, and then make note of the old hot dog guy there on the table. We'll be collecting 10 of those, working towards the destroy all collectibles chest that we'll find later in the level. When you're ready, go ahead and flip the switch. We're going to jump and dive off, run all the way to the 2nd floor, and hang a right as it's all the way on the far edge there. Run back to the stairs, up all the way to the top. This time we're going to go left and flip the switch, and now over to the bounce pad that we placed earlier. Jump and run in the air, and also dash. That is my best advice. This is a pretty cheeky way to get up here, but as far as we can tell, there is no other option. So definitely take advantage of those bounce pads. Now drop back down and take it over to the staircase on the 2nd floor, and we're going to take out Hot Dog Man. If you're having trouble shooting him from a distance, go ahead and use that bounce pad. Get up close and personal and give him the old cha-cha-cha-cha. All right, we do have some more vinyl chests to collect in here, and I highly recommend you do that before we leave this area because the Innovation Center is a pretty good safe place. You're not going to be attacked or have any troubles, but in order to get out of here, when you're ready, go ahead and mold a battery. We'll place it in the charger on the left side of the main door, and of course, pump it up. Once it's all ready to rock, we'll go ahead and slam it into the battery terminal right to the right of us here. And booyaka shout. Now we can access the terminal. Now I want to make a point here. As soon as we leave, there's going to be a cutscene, but it's also going to spawn the red orb baddie, so be ready. Now, there we go. We've removed the cutscene, and we are off and running. Now, a couple of times in our scouting attempts, we found the red orb baddie right here in that right pocket. Now, we've also seen him hightail it off to the left side like we are right now, and if you don't catch him right away, he could either go all the way to the far end of Main Street, or he could take a right and go over towards the middle of the level here, which we'll show you. So we've seen him go all the way down to the end here. And keep in mind, too, taking out all these bad guys is a good way to earn vinyl. Each time you take one out, you gain a few. So that is definitely helpful, too. All right, so all the way down is a possibility, but also right here, we've seen him hang out. So one of those 3 places, or 4, I guess, technically, should be the location, and that should be your priority as soon as you leave the Innovation Center. Now that we've cleared the path, we should go ahead and grab the orb and take it back to the mold machine on the opposite side of the main courtyard here. Now, we do have some snipers up above. I recommend trying to get as close to Frederico's as possible to avoid those green lines. And, of course, we've got some new bad guys that have spawned that are chasing it down. So before we try to place that in the machine, let's go ahead and clear out the area, including the couple snipers up top and all the guys on the ground. Now, that one lower sniper, for some reason, doesn't seem to look this way, so we'll take care of him in a hot second. But slam that bad boy in there, and look at that. Thunderstick unlock. So that should be our second wonder weapon. Looking pretty good. All right, we got some more hot dog dudes here. We got one right under the balcony on the table, Frederico's, right next to that red mold machine. We also have a sniper that needs to be dealt with, so let's take him out. Now let's turn around and look up on top of the Innovation Center, right above the doorway that we came out of. There should be another one glowing up top, and there is. There's number 3. I'm going to backtrack inside here to take a little cover from the fireballs coming from the sky, as well as all the dinos and baddies chasing me down. Now, you could use this heart right now, but I'm going to choose to take a little drinky poo because I've got a bunch of them on tap, and we're going to use that heart later because we're actually going to be back in action. Trust me. All right, hot dog guy number 4. We're going to move over to the left-hand side, and right in front of Set in Stone, the little, I guess it's a cafe or something right there on the left, is going to be another table with the hot dog. There is a giant piece of amber in the middle of the street. Hiding behind it is the amber fossil. Make sure you grab that before moving on. All right, I get a little lost in chasing down some vinyl over here, but the goal is actually to go to the right-hand side first. So let's go ahead and double back across the courtyard and make our way over towards the Tyrannosaurus Rex cage. Along the way, we find our silver chest waiting here. It looks like a find it open, but it turns out to be a destroy all baddies. So once we ratty the baddies, it should remove that purple goo. And, you know, something I haven't tried, I'm sure it doesn't work, but now that we have Eddie and he removes the purple goo, can you shoot those chests? That would be kind of a game changer, right? I mean, you still have all these bad guys chasing you down, so it's probably going to be in your best interest to take them down anyways, but that's the only other place we've seen purple goo so far is around those chests. But, all right, crack it open, grab it, and we are out of here. That's right, we're going to go ahead and keep on with the keeping on towards T-Rex. And our next objective is to get another hot dog guy. So we've got a couple of bad guys on the outside of the cage. And it should be noted that there is a silver chest inside the T-Rex cage, but we don't recommend going in there yet. We'll open that later and go in there. It'll be one of the last things we grab. Hot dog guy number 5 is chilling right there on the side, and we're going to actually exit the T-Rex cage area, hang a right, and of course, continuing to take out anything and everything we see. We're getting up there. We need 60K still, plus we have a couple of more mold items we need to craft, so definitely need about 70 would be a good goal at this point. All right, all the way to the back corner here, we see a lock. We pop it off, and behind that is actually a Jeep with another hot dog guy. So make sure you get that before you reroute and turn around. And basically, we've cleared out a path here, too, because there is a doorway on our left back there that's actually going to unlock and allow us into that T-Rex cage. Now, again, I am just vinyl grinding here, and unfortunately, they don't have any kind of a multiplier. You know, with their previous endeavors being Lego games, you think the developers would have added some sort of, like, at least a ×2 or, you know, something, whatever. But not yet, anyways. Maybe in the future, but not yet. All right, as we exit the T-Rex enclosure and get over to, I guess it's sort of like a botanical garden area, we're going to find a couple of bad guys coming from the shrubs, so be ready for those guys. And we're really just grabbing vinyl at this point. There should be a couple of things to take out here. If you want, you can keep on and make your way all the way over towards the big bad boss over there, the Indominus. But we're actually going to see him coming this way and hit the old reverse button and go back the way we came. Now it's up to us to go all the way across the main courtyard and go over to the left-hand side by where the amphitheater is. And luckily for us, we've got a 5-star speed character to help us get there a little faster. Won't be too long, though, before we switch on over to somebody who's a little bit slower, as we're going to need the laser ability. And that's one of the worst puzzles I've seen so far, guys. I'm not trying to hate. I love this game. 1010 has done a phenomenal job, but I have to be honest. One of the next silver puzzles coming up is pretty redonkulous, and I'll show you why when we get there. But first, let's go ahead and make our way over to the amphitheater, and inside the area is going to be Lucy Juicy. Up on the pineapple, right next to the sign, is going to be hot dog guy number 7. All right, we're actually going to run all the way to the end of the street here, take out a few bad guys, and make note of the vinyl tube there, as that's going to be the 60K. In fact, we got up close and personal, and it gave us a little flash there, but trust me, it's 60. Well, I should say, trust me, it's 60 at the time of this recording, because 1010 has changed those values quite a bit since the launch of the game. All right, really what we need to do is go into the Jurassic gift shop here. Now we're going to be chased by some bad guys, so Errati the baddies, and of course, look over at the main sales counter here. Behind the register is going to be a bunch of dolls on the walls. One of them happens to be our hot dog guy that we need, so go ahead and take him out, along with everything else in the store, because we should be getting pretty close. We're not quite to 60, although it would be nice if we had that 60, because we could just ring it off right now, and I'm telling you, we get so close. But the good news is, we're going to go up above into the Tiki Lounge here in a second, and it's going to take us right back to this area. Now, if the Indominus Rex isn't at his spawn point here at the end of the street, I highly recommend activating the old purple goo tube. It's just going to be easier to do when he's not right there in your face. And for us, there was no bad guys or anything nearby, so it made it real easy. Now, of course, we got a couple of vinyl chests, one on each side of the street. Feel free to pop those open. And look at that, we officially have 60K, but I did not realize that at the time, so I kept on with the keeping on. And just in case you guys didn't have it too, I guess it's smart that we keep on and keep going. Now, we have one more hot dog on the street here. It's actually right in the mouth. Nom noms. And on the Tiki, the Flaming Tiki restaurant has a lock on the door. We're going to go ahead and pop that off and go up the staircase. And look at that, hot dog guy number 10 is chilling right there. And even better, the silver chest that we have now officially unlocked is right here on this same balcony. So we'll go ahead and smash and grab a little vinyl as we make our way around the corner here. And Booyaka Shao. Not only is the chest here, but we also got a KFC bucket right behind us. So pop the chest, grab your crown, and turn around, as we've got ourselves some KFC. That's right, a little bit of that extra special, extra crispy. That's what we got today. All right, we could go that way, but now we have 60 plus K, we can go ahead and fill up the vinyl tube. One thing that should be noted too that I found in my scouting runs, if you fill the vinyl tube with vinyl, but don't grab the crown, it seems to put it in a glitched state. So I don't know why you wouldn't grab the crown, but just please make sure you grab it, because it might end up being some sort of a game-breaking situation. I've been waiting days for a couple of my silver crowns to return. I've quit game, I've reloaded, I've quit everything, and it just hasn't worked. So just be aware of that. All right, before moving back to the amphitheater, let's switch on over to a character with the laser ability. Now, we have selected Athena, and oh boy, look how slow she is. Her run is so slow. Her run is like the walk of a 5-star speed. So, all right, this is the dreaded puzzle. All right, so what we got to do here is, first of all, we got to go inside with the laser-based character. Make note of the bounce pad on the right side of the cage here. Now, the crown is actually inside the silver chest, inside that cage. And in order to get it, we have to actually do some portal work and some laser work. This is crazy. It's like double whammy. So we'll go ahead and mold a portal, place it on the ground facing the cage, and then we're also going to grab another bounce pad. This is going to help in a few minutes because we got to get out of the cage, and the easiest way to do that is to bounce over the top. All right, now that we got our tools in place, we got to shoot the purple crystal and turn it gold. Once it turns gold, you should be able to access the portal on top of the cage. Go ahead and activate it by pressing the icon indicated. For us, it was triangle. Go through the portal and choose one or the other side. It really doesn't matter which side you choose first, but it should be noted that whatever side you choose, the crystal that you get is going to need to go on the opposite side of the room. So for us, right now we were on the right side. We need to take it to the left side, or depending on how you're looking at it, it could be the opposite. Just note that the actual laser itself has a yellow square on it, indicating that it needs that yellow or gold crystal, right? So that's pretty good to figure that out. Now, the other one on the right-hand side, as we're looking at it now, actually has a red triangle, and it turns out the other crystal is, in fact, a red triangle, so that works out perfect. So we'll go ahead and take a peek at it. You can see it's got a red triangle there. All right, got some vinyl, jump back in, and this time we're going to go back up using the bounce pad. And we're going to look at the other side. So whichever portal you didn't unlock originally, we're going to switch to that and open this up. This will give us the second piece. This seems pretty easy so far, right? Yeah, no big deal. Easy stuff, Brian. Why are you complaining about it? Well, here we go. Once we get these placed on their respective platforms, you can actually see it's spinning around. So now we have to activate or stop the activation of those spinnings by using the terminals inside. So each side has a terminal. And you can see this one spinning and spinning and spinning. You got to time it just right. So here's something I figured out for the yellow one. If it is flat, long ways looking at you, it takes about 7 seconds to go ahead and get it in the right spot. Now, it looks pretty good from that perspective up top. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my portal over to the other side and get in there and use the terminal there. Now, but this one you can't see at all. So you got to get so lucky. It's just about timing here. You want it so that the crystal basically goes long ways right towards pointing towards the target. So again, it's all about precision here. And I have to be honest, I edited out about 4 minutes worth of jambalaya. That's right. It took me so much longer than what you're seeing on screen right now. And you can see I actually messed up the yellow one. The yellow one is not lined up. However, the red is good to go. So although I found that in my scouting run, 7 seconds was sort of the sweet spot for it, it didn't work in my actual recording. So 7.5 seconds, I guess. So now you got to go back in and flip it on and then flip it off again real quick, or let it spin around again. Or maybe we could try the 7 seconds again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grab it. All right, let's go ahead and pop out and see if it's any good. It looks like it's aimed pretty good. So let's jump over the top and booyakashow, we got lucky. So again, I edited out a bunch of trial and error. So if it takes you longer than it took me, don't feel bad. Just know that that is a really tough puzzle. Once both of the lasers have been affected, well, I guess activated, it should open up the crown or the chest and give us the crown, and we should be ready to get down. All right, so we're officially done with what is the worst puzzle we've encountered so far, but to be honest, we've only played 7 levels of Collectibles. So it could get worse, guys. It could get worse. I shouldn't say the worst. We had that one puzzle a couple levels back that I'm pretty sure something was broken at the time of recording. Might not be the case, but it certainly seemed like it. All right, we're going to go back to the character swap again, and this time we're going to switch on over to our newly favorited guy, Eddie. Reason for it is because I felt like he hit pretty hard with his shots. We have to fight the boss here in a second, but also we have the purple goo door at the end of the street. It's at the opposite end of where we are right now. Hey, look at that, a free soda. Who doesn't like a free soda? I know I cracked one off earlier, so I'm 1 short from where I was when I started, so it's good to be back. All right, purple goo time. We have to hit the old Indominus Rex in his special spots, not those ones, the purple ones. And not that one either. Come on now. And we'll go ahead and basically keep shooting him until he drops these little plops. Keep doing that until you can't pick up any more. The reason for that is that you basically can make a bunch of unnecessary trips with only maybe 4 or 5 purple goos, and you want to be able to hold the max before you turn it in, which is 10. Now, we do need to do this process 3 different times, and if you're lucky like me, he'll sort of sit in one place for a majority of the battle, and eventually he does move around a little bit more, but you can see as I got close to those purple blobs, they weren't slurping up and becoming part of me, which sort of indicates that I do have a full load here. So we'll take it back and fill up the meter about 1/3 of the way, and back at it. So he is officially coming at me now. Come at me, bro. Come at me. And I do find that shooting him from behind is pretty effective. you get access to most of the same spots. The chin, I think, is the most vulnerable. So, you know, depends on how you want to do it. We also have bad guys coming in, you know, erratically. So be aware of those guys, too. And he is out of here. He basically wants nothing to do with me. I think he realizes that I am the reason he is purple, and he shouldn't mess with his creator. All right, we got a little low on health there, so we're going to go ahead and take a drinky poo. Now, I should have taken it back and slammed it into the old recycler, but I wasn't sure how far it was at the time. And, oh, you know, I noticed, too, that the ground pounds seem to hurt you, even sometimes when you're in the air diving. So be aware of that, too. Just keep an eye on your heels is all I'm saying. Now, you've got the vinyl tube already done so if you lose some vinyl, it's only going to hurt your overall progress of trying to get to that 5 million. Now, I probably should have said something a wee bit earlier, but if in the fact you are in a hurry and you're trying to get out of here, maybe you just want that next collectible, go ahead and use the quick links down below. Your boss battle may go faster or slower than mine, and of course, it's not always the funnest thing to watch me grind away and take on a long boss battle. I thought about fast forwarding through this, but I opted to not to. You know, sometimes it'll bring on questions like, why are you going so fast? Or how do you make a move like that? Is there a brick or something? And so just to avoid all those scenarios, I go ahead and leave it regular. All right, so once you get to 20, I've noticed that a bunch of bad guys spawn. So probably 6 or 7 more than usual. Take them all down and make your way back to Indominus to get those last 10 pieces of purple goo. All right, I got another drinky poo that I cracked off here. So this time I'm right next to the old recycler. So reduce, reuse, recycle. That's going to help us in the long run too, as we need to get 50 of those recycled. And I bet you we've probably got about 10 or 12 right now on our main go. On our scouting run, I probably have about 50. I'm probably like 1 or 2 away, but we'll find out soon enough. And eventually we should have enough vinyl to go ahead and buy a bunch of sodas and just drink them, recycle them, drink them, recycle them. That'll be one of those last kind of things we do. All right, back to Indominus to get more of that purple goo. Hit them sweet spots, the eyes, the chest, the chin, and spin to win. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead and just keep collecting. We'll eventually get our 10-piece. We'll take it. We'll get that tube turned gold. We'll call in the T-Rex, which will help us fight this boss battle. We'll get a bunch of vinyl for shooting and assisting in that battle. And then before it's over, before we grab that crown and we're out of here, we're actually going to go and get another chest. In fact, we got 2 chests left. We got the purple goo, and we also have another one too. You'll see. Trust me. Trust me. All right, I think we officially got our full... Yep, we do. We're heading for the tube. And we'll go ahead and drop in the tenner. And look at that. All right, officially up to 30. Now we just got to wait for the tube to turn gold and then activate it. And then, of course, it'll take anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds to cue the cutscene, which we have removed. And then it's battle time. We're just going to help old T-Rex. Now, keep in mind, once we summon T-Rex, that's going to open up that cage in the back corner we talked about earlier, which is going to be where that other silver crown comes from. We got 1 from the purple goo door and 1 from the T-Rex cage. All right, so cutscene's removed. Here we are in the final battle. Shoot him and collect as much as possible. This is likely going to be our biggest point of vinyl. So like, you know, sometimes we mentioned earlier there's no multipliers or anything like that. Sometimes you got to find like a special spot like endless vinyl. This may be one of them. In fact, if you can beat this level pretty quick, you get roughly 100 to 125,000 vinyl for beating this boss. And of course, if you collect stuff along the way, it just depends on how you do it. Like running through this level and beating this boss over and over again might be one of the fastest ways to do it. Of course, like I just said, you could collect more vinyl and open chests and spend more time along the way, making it a bigger payout. But I think just the overall time spent just getting the level done, getting to this boss battle, and collecting all this vinyl might be the best way. We'll find out. We'll talk to Doug. He's going to be our resident recommender, and he'll tell us what's best. All right, now that Eddie's knocked out, collect all the vinyl on the ground and go ahead and give the prompt here for him. He's out of here. He's going to drop the world crown, but we're not going to grab it. We're going to hang a hard left and go over to the T-Rex cage. As we mentioned earlier a couple of times, there is a silver chest inside there that is now accessible. So go to the cage and hang a left, and it's going to actually take us to a secret entrance over by the red mold machine. We found one of the hot dog guys over here. We had to bust off that lock and get back there. So if you're confused about how we got here, that's how you do it. All right, inside the cage is going to be just a find and open chest. Go ahead, find it, and open it. Speaking of, there's some vinyl in here too. So again, we're trying to collect as much as possible because in our story run, we actually avoided the grindage, and it's paying very negative effects in the long game here because now we're going to have to do a bunch of grindage. And that's okay. That's okay. It made our videos shorter, made them easier, probably funner to watch, but it is going to elongate our journey to that 5 million. I assumed that we would have 5 million by the time we got done with story, but boy, was I wrong. All right, back to the main courtyard right in front of where we kind of spawned is going to be Frederico's. We've been in here before a couple different times. And we're going to pop off that door, that purple goo with the Eddie purple goo gun. All right, inside is another find and open. It's sort of a puzzle chest, but really it's a find and open. So we'll go ahead and crack it off, and that should be it, guys. So we just need to go grab that crown at the end of the street, and that is it. Officially done with Jurassic World. Well, sorta, as we have to come back for some character cameo quests. So that'll be one of the last things we do. All right, woo to the hoo-hoo-hoo. Boy, we're getting pretty close to 2 million, so we're almost to the halfway point. You know, it is possible if we keep grinding along the way, we might see that 5 million without any grindage. It's just really hard to say. A lot of the levels we only finish with like 15 or 20,000, so you never know. We'll see. All right, back into the Funko Factory Hub we go, but this time we're going to drop down a level as we are ready for some Scott Pilgrimage. That's right, the Irate Pirate is up next. Yeah, I know I said that funky, but go ahead and we'll see you soon, actually. We'll be back before you know it with some more collectibles, and a big shout out to our guide writer, Doug, for putting all of these collectibles in a nice methodical order for me to grab in these videos. Make sure you give him a shout out if you see him on any of our live streams or any of that. But hey guys, check us out on social media, all the sites. We got HappyThumbsGaming.com, HTGmerch.com. That's going to do it for me though. As always, until next time.